Jonathan Ellis here, the Modern Man. Welcome, welcome. Many of you are trying to change your bodies, trying to change the way you physically look, trying to get that lean, defined, or even you could say athletic looking body. But the problem is the way you're going about it is the wrong way. And the biggest error I see men make are constantly being what I say in perpetual fat loss mode. So in other words, in this constant pursuit for long periods of time of losing fat, but never actually losing the fat. Or if you lose weight, you don't keep it off, you gain it right back and you get stuck in what I call the cycle of doom, which I will talk about in a second. So I'm going to explain in this video exactly what you're doing wrong, why it doesn't work, and what you should do instead if you actually want to see physical changes in your body. So have you ever seen someone who has lost weight, but they just look like a smaller version of the same shape? Like the shape of their body didn't really change that much. Or maybe this even happened to you. Well, in that case, this is the reason why. You're constantly in fat loss mode because the way you are doing fat loss, for lack of better terms, is not efficient or effective. So you're always in this kind of like half-assed fat loss mode that's not effective, and you have to spend way more time doing it. And that's the result here, is that you just never get the body you want. And in most cases, you don't actually ever lose the weight you want sustainably and keep it off. So I want to make clear though, fat loss is important, but just the way you're doing it doesn't actually improve the way your body looks and functions. Your first step is usually a misstep. So most men start by cutting, avoiding, eliminating foods. And this is what I call a deprivation approach. So the first mentality is you're thinking about the things you need to remove and eliminate. That is deprivation. It's a deprivation mindset and approach to everything. But the best bodies aren't built when your body is in a deprived state. Okay? I'll say that again. The best bodies aren't built in a deprived state. The person you see that is like, man, he's got a good body, he did not deprive himself to that goal. So this is what happens if you deprive. You cut and avoid and eliminate the things. You lose some weight on the scale. You get to a point where you feel deprived or low energy or tired or cranky and you can't stay with it. Maybe you're even moody. Maybe your workout performance is decreasing or you can't sustain it. And then boom, the inevitable fall off the wagon. And then eventually you get to a point where you come to a point weeks, months, or years later where you restart, you start cutting and avoiding again, and blah, and so on and so on, and you get stuck in this cycle of doom or cycle of death. So you just keep going and going and going, and what the sad thing is, not only is it inefficient and ineffective, is that you that you just spend so much more time doing what you could change your body the right way in significantly less time than just repeating this cycle for years and years on end. One of the biggest things that's holding a lot of you guys back in this exact situation, and I say fear here, it's not always just fear, it could just be like a worry or a concern, but it can escalate to even a fear that when you eat certain foods, or if you eat carbs, or if you eat too much one day or one weekend, that you automatically will gain weight and all your effort will be ruined. Living and approaching things with that mindset, with this fear that you're just fearing foods and fearing things and fearing everything, or worried that I'm just gonna gain weight, I can't gain weight, I can't gain weight, I just can't let myself gain weight, I just can't. Having that mentality it's basically like sweeping the rug out from underneath your own feet. You just subconsciously end up holding yourself back, and you never are able to do what it takes and have the dietary approach that actually takes to change your body. So this mentality is reactive and emotional. So what happens is you'll be depriving, and then the fall off happens and you bounce back and you rebound and then you eat all the things you've been depriving yourself from. And it just doesn't work. You just end up gaining the weight back. And I'm going to explain the evil, the deep, dark side of this in a second. But you also have reduced workout payoff. So let's say you have been working out. Let's say hypothetically you were working out during this time when you've been cutting and avoiding and eliminating foods. what this does is it drastically negates a lot of your effort in the gym. So you might be like working out all the time and wondering why the hell your body's not changing. It's because your approach to your dietary habits is not supporting your body during the workouts, and it does what I call force plateau you. Now, the good news is you're not broken. So you've just been doing fat loss for months, years, with little to no visible or sustainable results. Maybe you got results for periods and just didn't sustain it, but you've just been spinning your wheels. And so the reality is, it's the system that's broken. You're not broken. The system you've been using, your approach is broken. It's not your age, it's not your metabolism, it's that you're using a deprivation-based approach. Like most fad diets, like, oh, I just gotta eat fewer meals in the day. I just gotta fast 3 days a week where I eat nothing. Like, no, guys, deprivation doesn't give you the body you want. Now, here is the key to changing your body shape. And this might not be a surprise to you, but it is muscle. Muscle is the key to changing your body shape and getting that toned, defined, athletic looking body. I'm not talking about like no neck, turning sideways, walking through doors type dumb shit. I'm talking about actual like athletic, functional, mobile, lean, take your shirt off and you feel damn good about yourself type of thing. And muscle is the difference. So extended periods of fat loss done wrong, that's the key, guys, done wrong, jeopardizes muscle. And what happens is fat loss done wrong causes you to lose muscle, gain no new muscle, and get weaker. Now, I know you watching this right now doesn't want to lose muscle, never gain muscle, and just continue to get weaker. Why? No. Muscle literally equals shape, definition, and strength. Muscle literally equals shape, definition, and strength. So the wrong way to do it is deprive, starve, lose muscle, get weaker, and see no shape change in your body. Sounds appealing, doesn't it? The right way is during fat loss periods, when you're emphasizing fat loss, you protect your muscle. Hold on to it like your life depends on it. Okay? There are many strategies for holding on to it, like making sure you're doing consistent, regular strength training, not HIIT, not circuit training, actual heavy strength training. Focus on tiring out your muscles, not your cardiovascular system. Eating a high protein diet, getting adequate carbs, getting adequate overall calories, not fasting a lot, and in that way you can help protect your muscle. A lot of other things too, like hydration, adequate sleep, stress management, controlling alcohol intake, and so on and so on. Then have a lot of time when you're spending on building muscle. And as you build muscle, you gain shape, you improve your definition, and you increase your strength. Okay? So muscle is the difference maker. Now, here's the compounding trap that happens when you approach fat loss and you're in this consistent, perpetual cycle of trying to lose the weight. You end up using a deprivation approach, a cut, eliminate, avoid approach. And you're like, woohoo, the scale's going down. You're like, yeah, I lost 7 pounds of fat. Or let's say you lost 11 pounds. I lost 11 pounds in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, woo! You're all pumped up. You think you're got everything all figured out. You get overconfident. And what you don't realize is that you lost 7 pounds of fat, but you also lost 4 pounds of muscle doing it the wrong way. And here's the problem is, with those deprivation approaches, you can't sustain them. So you fall off, then you go back to your old ways, you regain the fat, but you don't regain the muscle because you're still scared to eat a lot, you're still scared of carbs, your calories aren't right, your protein isn't right, your training's not consistent, and you just don't build the body again. Okay? You don't build the muscle again. And so with each, the catch-22 is, with each successive fat loss attempt in this cycle of doom, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And then you start scratching your head. You're like, what the hell? It's getting harder every single time because it's compounding with sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss, and having a busy-ass lifestyle with a lot more responsibilities, stress, and work. And so you get in this cycle where you're like, the more you try, the less you see the difference. Okay? This is the trap. This is why at all costs, you can't start a weight loss journey with a deprivation approach, a deprivation-based approach. It's doing it the wrong way. So if it isn't clear yet, okay, fat loss is very, very important. I want to make this abundantly clear. Fat loss is very important to getting a lean, healthy, defined body that also is going to keep you going for the long run. Okay, it is. But the key is you need to do it in a way where you protect muscle and build muscle either at the same time or later. There's different approaches to it, but you must minimally protect your muscle and build muscle as well as drop fat. So when you're in fat loss periods, you should be protecting the muscle you have and building new muscle whenever possible. And I'm just going to hammer it one more time. That does not happen through deprivation. So please, my friend, stop depriving your body. Think about, instead of depriving, we add in. We add in. We want to give our body everything it needs to actually thrive. And when you give your body everything it needs to thrive, then you can lose fat in a healthy way without losing muscle, and it actually gives you the opportunity to build muscle. And when we're in our 40s and 50s, fellas, we always want to think, if we're not actively trying to build muscle, we are actively losing it without realizing it. And it's not a snap your fingers overnight thing. It's slow, but it creeps up. So think of adding in. Adding in. So adding in the right foods, giving your body the right nutrients it needs to recover, build, and function great, function optimally. Train and recover, especially the recover part, guys. We need to add in the exercise, the strength training, the movement, walking, general activity, and the rest, downtime, kicking your feet up, time where you can laugh and be chill, and of course, sleep. And the health habits. So we need to build the lifestyle, because habits together, multiple habits together form a lifestyle. So we want to build multiple habits that form a healthy lifestyle that supports the lean, high-performing body. And I say here there's no other way, because literally there is no other way. If you don't have the lifestyle habits in place, everything you're doing is temporary. Okay? It might be temporary months, it might be temporary a year, 2 years, but it's just temporary. The lifestyle needs to be in place, and the lifestyle is what supports the high functioning, lean, athletic body. Okay? And like I said, I'm not talking about looking like a bodybuilder. I'm talking about a lean, athletic body, a healthy body, low body fat, reasonable amount of muscle and strength. In order to do that, you must live the lifestyle that supports it. So if you have any questions about how any of this works, please drop them right down below in the comments. I will respond to every single comment. And of course, hit the sub on this channel, The Modern Man, because I'm going to be dropping videos like this every single week, and you probably won't want to miss them.